Hello, everybody. This is take two of me trying to do my videos in peace and quiet. I'm sorry if I had to end the other stream and come back. It was my work that was calling me, and it was a whole fiasco at work. But yeah, anyways, I'm here now. I'm gonna finish my review of the movie The Descent. I will give everybody a little bit of time to come back here because I know that some of you are waiting on me to get back. So I'll give everybody a little bit of time. Hopefully, people will come back. Hopefully, if not, it will be watched in the replay. But I do hope that people are going to come back. Again, I apologize. That was my job that was calling me. The teacher was trying to come into the class and was having problems. That ended up having to, okay, just do the class from home rather than from work. Normally, he uses my computer sometimes to do some of the tasks, and for some reason, nobody could hear him when he went into his Zoom, and we tried different things, and it didn't work. So let's see if there's anybody here with me. No, okay. I don't know if I see one person here with me. Hopefully, you can introduce yourself and let me know that you are listening, that you are hearing me. But anyways, I won't go on for much longer. And it's frustrating when you try. I tried to get that movie review done before any kind of thing, and I have other things, including for Uncle Stu that I'm supposed to be working on, and I want to get things done and on time so that way I could move on to being. I have a few things planned myself for later today. So it's always frustrating to get a monkey wrench in your lives when you try to do a few things. Yeah, there we go. Put myself on mute. There we go. Alrighty. So I will continue with my movie review of the movie The Descent. So I'll go into more of the general let's see, I'm trying to remember also where I was in my summary of the movie. Oh, yes, the ending of it. Okay, there is a difference between the end of the movie, uh, the American version versus the British version. Okay, so very quickly, The Descent is about a group of six friends who go spelunking in the Appalachian Mountains and end up being trapped there and end up discovering that there's a race of monsters that are blind and use sound to hunt them down. At the end of the movie, yes, trash can waves. The call is over. It was my work and my teacher, and he's God bless him. He is not tech savvy at all. And I was trying to help. He was trying to do a class through Zoom and on my computer. And for some reason, the computer, the sound just was not working at all. Nobody could hear him no matter what we tried. So we had to reschedule the class and tell them, okay, look, the class is going to be in an hour. Let's do it then. So hopefully at 1 o'clock I don't get a call from him. I having trouble again. So thank you, Trash Can, for coming back here and spending a few minutes with me. Hopefully everybody else will be joining. Hello, hello, Blashes. How are you? You see, even my work doesn't give me a break. Saturday, I'm not supposed to be working, but even my job needs my tech savviness. But thank you guys for coming back and for your patience. I was hoping that it was going to be a quick call and that he just needed the login information, but it was a whole fiasco, Lashes. What can I do? What can I do? I try to be, helpful and all that, but at some point he's also a little bit of a hard-headed teacher as well. So, God bless him. He's really good, but sometimes you gotta be very stern with him when it comes to these tech stuff. He's not really good with that kind of stuff. Anyways, so yeah, so the very quick summary of the movie The Descent. You have six friends who go spelunking in the Appalachian mountains. They end up being trapped in the caves and being chased by these monsters who are technically blind but use sound to hunt their prey. And of course, the girls end up being their prey. Whoa. So at the end, of course, out of the six girls, unfortunately, only one of them survives, Sarah. And you'll notice that Sarah is the girl whose husband and daughter end up at the beginning of the movie in a car accident and passing away. Now, the ending of the movie is one of those things that makes it a bit controversial because if you're American, you probably saw the American version where she manages to get out of the cave and survives. And it's basically screaming like, "Oh my God!" and all that trauma, all that PTSD, and all that, right? While as if you're Canadian or British, you saw the British version of it, the British and in all of it. Oh, you're editing your videos. Great. I hope to watch your videos, Trash Can Waves, and hopefully next time you go live, I won't miss it. I know a lot of you guys go live when I'm at work, and I can't always participate or as much as I would like to, or even watch because obviously I'm trying to work. Even on days where I'm not supposed to be working, like today, my work is on me like there's no tomorrow. Anyways, so if you were Canadian or British, you might have seen the British version where that scene where she escapes um, from the cave, she's coming out and claws her way out and screams and all that. It flashes back to Sarah being in the cave, and it was all a dream or hallucination. Blah. And the camera pans out where you see her still very deeply stuck in the caves. And it goes to this really crazy screenshot of a skull. I don't know if you guys saw the cover page of the movie where I'll try to find it, where all the girls are posed in such a way with the light in where it forms an image of a skull. I'll show it to you guys. But basically, yeah, when the movie pans out at the end, it gives that kind of feeling to it. So you get the sense that she's very much stuck and not going to come out of this alive. Now, I did not see The Descent 2 in full. But basically, with the sequel, they went in with the idea that of the American version, where Sarah survives, but because she's bloodied and it's the blood of her friends and so forth, the police, as well as a few other people, bring her back in to the caves to find out what has happened. Because part of it as well is that Sarah, once she comes out, has lost her memories and has no idea what happens. And of course, through the descent too, she sort of discovers. And that's kind of where I ended in the movie. I didn't watch the full part of it, so I don't know the full story. But I'll show you guys the image. It's a little bit gory, little bit of gore here, folks, just to let you guys know. Giving you that heads up. There we are. So this is the cover where you can kind of see all the girls really just. I'll try to zoom in to it as well. Nope, oh, that's a little too far. So yeah, so that's the cover. So you see they put it in such a way that the girls form a skull. Okay, so that's it. That's all. That's all I'm going to share with you guys right now. So my thoughts of the movie is I liked the movie a lot. Okay, I thought it was a really great movie. Especially like I said, for me, that's my biggest fear of basically being buried alive. Because even though in this case, Sarah has physical room, you see that there's parts of the tunnels and so forth that are very big. People can stand up and so forth. But essentially, she's excuse me, in no matter how you look at it, she's basically in a big hole underground with no access to food, no access to clean water. She obviously can't take a bath, can't change her clothes, all of that, right? And of course, there's a question of sunlight. Um, and she obviously has the monsters to deal with as well. So that part I get is not quite my favorite part is the monsters. Like it adds a lot of the horror to it where it's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is she going to outlive them? Is she going to outsmart them? Um, but that part sort of feels a bit wonky to me. And especially with the look that they go for the monsters, they try to give it the look of, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Nosferatu, which is one of the first vampire movies. They have the monsters look like almost deformed bats, and that same kind of look from the movie Nosferatu, and I kind of feel like that's kind of overplayed, that kind of a look of a monster where they're human but not quite, and oh, it's supposed to symbolically represent deformed humans, and their morals and values are deformed as well, etc. Right? So the monsters feel too typical to me, too generic. I do like the fact that there are monsters going after her, and that she doesn't just have to worry about how am I going to get out of this cave, but that she also has a practical reason to get out of the cave, which is, of course, getting away from the monsters. But if you notice at the beginning of the movie, when she goes into the caves with her friends, they, of course, see that there are a lot of dead carcasses, meaning that even though the monsters spend most of their times in the cave, there's a possibility that they do actually go out, and that they possibly have a way out as well. Um, but that part of it is also what I like about that movie is that that suspense of um, she could technically escape but doesn't, and that's why I like the British ending a lot more, where that's her problem, right? She wants to desperately escape but does not know how, know how close or how far she is away from escaping, right? And of course, in the American version, they did the typical like, oh yeah, she finds a way miraculously to escape, and isn't it wonderful? And of course, the next the sequel, they totally lambast that, and no, she ends up being stuck down there again. The poor girl, she loses her husband, loses her kid, loses her friends, gets blamed for all of it, and ends up back in the deep doo doo that she was in before. So overall, I liked the movie to the point where when I first saw it in the movie theater, it was one of the only movies I literally had to walk out of because I was that scared of it, right? Because, like I said, for me, one of my biggest fears is being trapped in a cave and no way out, basically being buried alive. So, that scene where at the beginning, Sarah gets stuck in the tunnel that's barely has any amount of space for her, like barely any kind of wiggle room, that really got to me. Like I really had a hard time dealing with that. Um, so when I see her now in that, even now, it's like it just it gets to me. And now, what else do I want to say about this movie? Oh yeah, I do like the fact that they built the set so it wasn't actual caves. Now, when I look at it, I could have sworn that they were in an actual cave, right? That they filmed it on set in an actual, like they had to send people actually spelunking down there and doing it. But no, these are sets that they built. Like I said in the first video I did earlier this morning, they actually did it part of it as well in a park in a couple cities. So there's some of it where okay, it's on in real life. But even then, it's for the actual caves and so forth, it was actually sets that they were in. And to me, I was convinced, I don't know about you guys, but I was convinced that they were in an actual cave at some point. Now I can imagine like some of it, is, made up. I mean, that I can believe. There's a few scenes where, how should I put it? Because again, I don't want this to be too gory. I want this episode to be as PG as possible, right? As G rated as I can. There, Sarah, I believe, is walking around in a liquid, let's put it that way. And not the kind of good liquid, okay? It's not water. Let's put it that way. She's not walking around and swimming around in water, right? So that seed, I can imagine that it's fake. That I definitely, if I was an actress and you told me to walk around in what that liquid actually is, or was it what it's supposed to be, I would refuse. You don't, there's not enough money in the world for me to do it. So those kinds of seeds I could definitely see it being fake. But even then, they made it look fairly realistic, where it's like, yeah, that could be what I'm thinking. I know it's fake, but yeah, that passes as what it's supposed to represent. So overall, I really like the movie. Now, obviously, it came out in 2005, 2006. Officially, technically, it was made 2005, but it officially came out in 2006. So this movie is 16 years old. So, and to be honest, I haven't rewatched it in a few years, so I'm not too sure if it's aged well or not. But I probably will give it a watch. I'm old school. I do have the actual DVD. I know. I'm that old school where I actually have the physical copy of the movie. Uh, because as much as I love Netflix and Shutter and all these different streaming services, at any day you never know. Any of them could, the price could be too much, or they don't have movies that you like anymore. And having movies on DVD that I really do enjoy is still a good thing. Although sometimes now I'm so accustomed to the flawlessness of streaming where you don't have the noise, while as DVDs, anybody who's played DVDs, those things are noisy as F. But anyways, it is what it is. So that's pretty much my movie review for The Descent. Sorry, guys, again, for the stop and start. I was definitely not expecting to get a call this morning from work. Usually, he does the class from home, and there's usually not a problem with that. So it happens. What can I do? So now I have to. I was hoping to, get my live done before and be able to, do the things that I needed to do for Uncle Stu. But of course, this threw a monkey wrench in my day. So I will call it a day with you guys now. So thank you, Lashes and Trascan Waves, for coming back and spending some time with me. And of course, we have our beautiful bot that has to also spend some time with us today as well. Aren't they nice? All these Russians really love me. Look, they want to spend some time with me. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Bye bye, bot. See you later. Oh my goodness. All right. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for spending some time and coming back to me this morning. So I'm off to do a certain amount of work for Uncle Stu, and I hope to see you guys in the live streams. Yeah, bye, Lashes. I don't Lashes. Are you going live today or not at all? Oh, you're going to his premiere. Okay, so I'll go sit to him now. All right. Bye guys. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.